Buckeyes come home after a rough one. Windy conditions at Northwestern. They win by 2 touchdowns as a 38-point favorite. We got Steve Merrill on the line to talk Buckeyes and their date against Indiana at the Horseshoe. Catch Steve at wagertalk.com. Steve, the Buckeyes are a 40.5-point favorite in this one against Indiana.
Yeah, on the surface, when you see a team only score 21 points as a 37.5-point favorite last week on the road, you'd say, hey, that's a red flag. But like you said, you always have to dig a little deeper and take in the conditions. And there was no passing game because of some windy conditions, and they only gained 76 yards on 26 pass attempts. So I'm not going to read too much into that game. I think the season as a whole has been just dominating for Ohio State. Even with 21 points last week, they're still averaging 46 on the season. It'd be closer to 50 probably had they played in normal conditions. And that's the only way I would play this game as Ohio State. First of all, my math model, my simulation, 10,000 simulations in the database has Ohio State winning this game by 45 points on average. So there is actually line value at minus 40.5. This line is too short. And then on top of that, Indiana does not have what we call backdoor cover potential. When they get behind in this game, which they definitely will and probably quickly and early, they're not going to be able to catch up. They're not a good offensive team, and they don't throw the ball well at all. Just 5.5 yards per pass, just 4.4 yards per play this season. So this has SmackDown written all over it. There's line value. It's a good situational setup. And Ohio State can probably name their score here, and I think that's the only way to play it. Ohio State minus the 40.5.
Folks, in your wildest dreams, your luckiest, hottest streak, have you ever gone 9-1 against the spread at any point? Well, Steve's right now 9-1 against the spread on our exclusive Patreon Under the Radar selection. So get on over to patreon.com, search MarkRogersTV, get Steve's Under the Radar selection exclusively there. Otherwise, it's wagertalk.com with Steve. Steve, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks, Mark.